Hello everyone, Planty and John here.
Hi guys, we've got a massive announcement to make. We're doing our first live show this year. What films are we talking about?
2001's Shrek, John. The OG.
The OG. R.E.
Very good. Yes, indeed. It's an all-ages show at Carlisle Megacon on August 17th, which is Carlisle's premier nerd gathering with over 40 stalls, gaming, cosplay, and really handsome podcasters.
Do I have to watch my language then?
Nah, it's fine, mate. There'll be other Scottish people there. We'll get subtitles for the English.
That's Megacon at Richard Rose Academy, Carlisle, on the 17th of August from 12 noon. It's £5 a ticket, and that includes seeing Beautiful Us.
And my brilliant Scottish accent. Ugh, donkey!
Aye, right. Jesus Christ.
Hi, everyone. Just a little thing before we start with this Patron's Choice episode. I've got to admit something. I forgot in the recording to shout out the patrons. You know, the people that keep the lights on. Them that will put food on the table. The people who want you to think that they care more than the regular listeners because they throw us £1 every month. Anyway, I better stop before this becomes victim shaming, yeah? So, I'm going to do that now. Skip forward a couple of minutes if you want. It's just names. Right. Now that the cheapskates are gone and listening to the show, just know Daddy Planty loves you so very much. So very, very much. Kissy, kissy, kissy. And I'll have something special on the paid for feed soon. I promise. I'm so sorry. I love you. That's Phil, Rachel. Happy birthday, Mrs. Planty. Gadget, Stig, Josh, Gavin Dan Belson, Gav McGill, Ian Graham, Mono, Biggie, Joe, Aaron, Nigel, Emily, Ian McComish, Paul, Maria, Ali, Dale, Megan, Jen James, lovely Rob Jones, Jake, Oodles, Candy and Lee. Thank you so much. Really appreciated. Even when I forget. My excuse, it was a Friday night and I hadn't yet had a drink. Rubbish excuse. Anyway, on you go, John.
Hi guys, on this show we're looking at Fox, Colin, Quaid, Hirsch, McDonnell, Goldblum, Pullman and Smith. We're looking at 1996's Independence Day.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. I'm one of your hosts, my name's Planty, and is it true there's a place on a car you can shoot that makes it flip over?
And I'm the other guys and I'm just here to find out what the hell that's all about.
The cars flip over like fuck in this.
Oh god, yeah, sorry.
They do like massive somersaults and look, I'm here for it. I've got to be honest, listeners. I am here for it.
Mate, I thought you were saying a line. It sounded like a line for Hot Fuzz.
Well, it is. That's the line. Is there a part of the man's head where you can shoot him and it explodes?
Oh god,
it's that.
The cars,
fucking hell.
Sorry, mate.
Inception quotes. I don't even know. Friday nights are not podcast nights. Is the answer? I think. John, how are you?
I'm alright, buddy. It's summer, but it's no summer here, so yeah, it's raining.
It's funny, isn't it? Oh, is it raining?
All the time.
Mate. It's funny, isn't it? Because I feel like I've spoken to so many people who have said, but we ain't even had a summer. I don't know why they sound like they're from Monty Python, living in Carlisle. But so many people are going, I don't even feel like we've had a summer. It feels shit. It's it's hot. It's hot and wet.
Aye. Like a Jew.
Yeah. So yeah, it's shit. But I think it's the standard. And Rachel said to me the other day, it's not even summer yet. And I'm like, mate, there's like a month left.
I know. Who are we kidding?
Come on.
September.
You know, we're not going to have that Indian summer. Can you say that anymore?
Do you know when my cut-off for summer is?
Is it the 31st of August?
No.
Go on.
It's 16th of September.
Is it? And why is that?
Because that's when I picked up my copy of Mortal Kombat, went into town, it was sunny blazing, and by the time I came back, it was absolutely horrible. So 16th of September will always be with me because of Mortal Kombat.
16th of September 2022. It's the retro game system.
Every day.
Indeed, yeah. Right, well, look, we're the podcast that tries to learn 100 things from every film we talk about. And this week it is a patron's choice. So the people that pay us, we've got a wheel, and we spin the wheel, and the wheel comes up with names. And this week, it came up with our dear friend and previous episode guest, Gadget. And Gadget came on to talk about Luc Besson's Space One, the Fifth Element. The Fifth Element. Yeah. So he came on to talk about that, and he has picked something else sci-fi this week. So we'll let him tell you. Gadget, it's over to you.
Hi there, Planty and John. It's Gadget here. I'm really sorry that I can't make the recording tonight. Unfortunately, the Modern Escapism recording calendar has gone a bit crazy recently with people being on holiday and being away or being ill. So, yeah, the night that you're recording this, I'm also recording something else. So, sorry, guys. But just wanted to drop in a quick note here to say the film I've picked after the great and glorious all-knowing wheel selected me from the patrons. Blessed be to the wheel. The film I've selected is Independence Day from 1996, one of the Roland Emmerich classics, and I kind of probably think his last good film, I want to say, seeing as after that was Godzilla. Yeah, Godzilla was after that. Anyway, yes, Independence Day, I picked this because, well, one, Planty told me that the Glorious Wheel had suggested me on Independence Day itself, on July the 4th. So, I love this film. I saw this at the cinema when I was a kid. It was one of my kind of formative cinema experiences with my dad. Fun fact, this is the first time I saw a film at the Warner Cinemas in Newcastle when it was still there, at Manners. And then straight after this film was the first time I'd ever had KFC, because we got a KFC on the way home, and that night was also the first night I ever had food poisoning. So, big day of thirsts for a little 10-year-old me. But, I love this film. I think it's great. It's stupid, and it's jingoistic, and there is a bit of the film I don't like where it's like, oh, the Americans have a plan, let's bloody about time, let's see what they've got to do. Don't like that. Don't like the idea of Americans saving the world in that way. But I think the film makes up for it in the action's good, the set pieces are great, a lot of them are practical effects, even kind of the flying through the it is actually through the Grand Canyon. I think a lot of that was actually real planes doing that. I like the characters. I love Jeff Goldblum and Judd Hirsch. They're kind of bouncing off each other. And of course, Bill Pullman as the president. One of the best cinema presidents there's ever been. In fact, he's up there with Martin Sheen in The West Wing for greatest presidents ever committed to a screen. I love this film, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it back. I do have a couple of facts for you, though. So, this is 100 things we learn from film. So I've got 2 things for you to learn about. First of all, a little bit of trivia from production. The big climactic president's speech was filmed in front of an airplane hangar that once housed the Enola Gay, which dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima 50 years earlier on August 6, 1945, and it was actually filmed on August 6, 1995. So that was a nice coincidence. But also, the crowd wasn't scripted to cheer Bill Pullman. Just Bill Pullman is such a good actor and a good orator doing the president's speech that they just started cheering, and the camera crew just kept filming them, which I think is a bloody marvellous thing when you have an actor who is playing the president could actually be the president. Like, that's good. That's really good. The other thing was many people have made much hay about the fact that David saves the world with a laptop. So the laptop he's using in this is a Apple PowerBook 5300, which was released in 1995 for, at the time, $2,300, which equates to, as of last year, $4,500, which is a ridiculous amount for a laptop, even an Apple one. They were considered a disappointment because, amongst other things, they kept catching fire. Yeah, they were all recalled because the batteries were made by Sony. They came with lithium-ion batteries, and they kept overheating and catching fire. So, yeah. So Apple recalled them, returned them with nickel metal hydride batteries, which only had 70% of the charge capacity. So they were slow, they were inefficient, the batteries didn't last on them, and the batteries that would last on them would catch fire. This was during the period of time with Apple where Steve Jobs wasn't in the business. Apple had started using these laptops as in kind of a attempt to do product placement. And they are used in a lot of films from the kind of 96, 97 period, so including Liar Liar, The Saint, Volcano, My Best Friend's Wedding, Jingle All the Way, and Independence Day. And so, yeah, they were kind of an early product placement thing, but they were a massive flop and failure. Not many people actually bought them because they were too expensive, they were too big, they didn't perform well, and nobody really wanted them. But, yeah, it's also kind of in pop culture referred to as the laptop that saved the world, because Jeff Goldblum gives the aliens a virus with them. So, yeah, hope those are a couple of things that you've learned that you can add to the list, and I hope you enjoyed the film, and I'm really sorry I can't be there. I really wish I could have been, but enjoy.
Thanks very much, pal. Some facts already there, so I've made a little bit of a note of those, and it saved us looking up fucking laptops, so that's something. Yeah. Also, it got really geeky about the batteries on the laptops there.
I know.
So,
I know.
You know, thanks, pal.
All the power to him.
Absolutely, it saved me. It saved me getting targeted ads for fucking Apple laptop batteries. Yeah, so that's good stuff. So, of course, John, we're talking Independence Day from the year of our Lord 1996.
What a year!
What else could we have been talking about?
So there was lots on. So a couple of favourites in here. Dragonheart. Woo woo woo.
Sean, I'm a dragon.
That's Spanish.
I don't know why it's Tom Jones. I breathed on him. I guess Tom Jones is Welsh.
Twister, the original, not Twisters.
Oh yeah. Have you seen Twisters yet, John?
No, not yet. But I think I'm going to see it.
Are you? Are you bothering? Okay.
Nah, I might go. Okay. The Craft, your personal favourite.
Oh, The Craft's got to be on our list, isn't it?
Phenomenon. What's his name?
Oh, never
John
seen
Travolta.
a beat of it, mate.
Oh
yeah,
God,
never
it's
seen a beat.
pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Loch Ness. With Ted Danson. Yeah. Ted Danson.
Is that a child's film?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Flipper. Personal favourite.
Morgan Freeman.
No, that's what's his name? Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee. Surely he should be in the Skippy movie.
Elijah Wood.
What's the Morgan Freeman dolphin movie? Where it's got a disability. The dolphin has a disability and they make it a new tail. Dolphin tail.
A dolphin tail.
Oh, dolphin
Jesus.
Tail. Fucking hell.
Oh, look at Didn't
It's
need
like
a prosthetic.
calipers. It's like Forrest Gump.
Escape from LA.
Escape from LA. We've done Escape from New York. Maybe we should do Escape from LA because I think it's vastly underrated. That it looks like shit, but it's totally great fun.
And The Crow, City of Angels.
All right, okay. And I don't care if they're out to see me because I don't care if they'd understand. I think that's what that is. City of Angels. Crow City of Angels will do. Possibly episode 200. People are pushing me on that one. But guys, that's like a year or so away, so don't expect us to remember that.
Don't fret.
That's a fucking year for films, by the way, except for the last one.
There's loads in.
Yeah, what year for films?
The Ghost in the Darkness. Jesus Christ.
He's still looking.
Takes me back.
This one... cinema for Little John?
Little
John.
Yep, double dunted it on my Monte Carlo and my gyro, so.
Did you? I went to see this at the, I want to say it's called the Scala Cinema in Ilkeston in Derbyshire, which is still open. It's one of those ancient kind of like theatre type cinemas.
Yeah.
And I went to see it there, and that's the one. It's the cinema.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's still great. It's got a balcony and everything. Yeah.
Like Last Action Hero?
Very much like Last Action Hero. It's also got some pervy old bastard letting in kids after dark.
There you go.
Possibly, I don't know. And for college, I actually interviewed the manager of the place, and he'd been the manager there for like 40 years. Really? I assume he's dead now. And I asked him things like, "What's the biggest like for you? What's the biggest film you've seen here? What was the and what's the worst film you've seen?" And he said it was part of when they used to do like two films together, kind of double header things. Mm-hmm. It was called The Box. This was long before the Cameron Diaz movie.
Oh yeah, the one with
directed by the Donnie Darko guy. And now you can't look it up because I remember thinking about it a few years ago. Going, I'm going to look up the film The Box, and you just can't look it up because there's already like 100 films called The Box, and all that comes up is that Cameron Diaz. Do we press the button and get money, and some cunt dies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me all your money.
All right, Bob. What a load of rubbish that was, by the way. After everyone obsessing about Donnie Darko and going, his new film, it's going to be amazing. And it was that.
It was shit.
Anyway. Anyway, this has been the longest intro we've ever done before starting talking about the film. Of course, we are the podcast Try to Learn 100 Things. If you like what we do, give us a quid, and we will give you a shout out. And we'll put you on the wheel. Put you on the
wheel.
Fucking rack. And you can also get access to all the extra bits and pieces that we're doing. I've read books, and we've had little bonus episodes and loads of things, loads of outtakes. Stuff that we say some stuff, and then we kind of go at the end. Let's take that out at the end. It goes on the Patreon stuff, and usually it's pretty fucking. It's very after dark. It gets a little blue, as if the whole podcast doesn't. So there's a few of those kind of bits and pieces. So do that. You can do so at patreon.com/100 things film, or you can go to 100 things we learned from film.co.uk, where you'll find all of our links. Shall we begin?
Let's begin.
Fantastic. Right. So we open up being told that this is a Centropolis entertainment film, John.
New to us, big man, new to us.
Very new to us. Did you have anything on it at all?
Founded in July 1985 by Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
That's it. That's fine. You will know them, of course, from the fantastic, all the other fucking shit that they did, which somewhere here on my notes exists.
The day after tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, the day after tomorrow, 2012. Universal Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
All Stargate, all future episodes, I would say, arguably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to see all of those on the podcast. Also, White House Down, John. Do you remember that? That's one of those dueling White House movies. There was two out the same year. That and the, I don't know, fucking president's neck is missing or something. Is it the one with Jerry Butler? Or is it the other one? Yeah, the other one. The other one was Angel Has Fallen. I think that's the Jerry Butler one, isn't it?
There's one with Channing Tatum and there was a couple.
Was this one called Law-Abiding President?
Citizen? Law-abiding citizen, right? With Jamie Foxx.
President. Yeah. Anyway, there's loads of those, which I'm absolutely into. All of that shit is just fucking atrocious, and I'll watch it for the podcast. We had News Corp Company. I'm not talking about News Corp. I'm just not doing it. Just flat out refuse.
Go do it.
The movie cost $75 million, John. Can you imagine a film as big as this costing only $75 million?
No.
It's astonishing. It made $817 million. Of course, helped along by the fact that it came out the day before Independence Day 1996. So it was there for the holiday weekend. It was the second highest grossing film ever at the time, behind, John?
Titanic?
Jurassic Park. Titanic was still 2 years away. The film won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. Because some of it's pretty fucking good. As Gadget said, real planes flying through the fucking...
you can't go wrong with models.
No.
Really can't.
It's only a model. Right, so we get a view of the moon with the stars and stripes, and the plaque that says... here, men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
We came in peace for all mankind.
So there is another plaque up there. There's a memorial with failed astronauts. I say failed, but it's like a plaque for...
for the dog? Russian dog Laika?
I was going to say astronauts, but it's cosmonauts.
Is it all the fucking monkeys we set up? No, the cosmonauts were the Russians.
The
cosmonauts are the Russians. Yeah.
That's it. So I think it's just a plaque to go for like NASA astronauts and USSR cosmonauts, as we were called back in the day. So
they sent a lot of fucking kittens and cockroaches and shite into space. So
everything they didn't want, anything they couldn't sell, get up there.
Massive fan of communism, except when they're sending cats to their death. Then I'm willing to just dismantle communism for sending cats to the death alone, listeners. I've got to be honest. July the 1st, we get this shot of July the 1st. Things that happened on July the 1st, John. In 1969, the formal investiture of the United Kingdom's Prince Charles, as Prince of Wales, took place at Carnarvon Castle in Wales, as the Crown Prince's mother, Queen Elizabeth II, placed the coronet, or small crown, on his head. For the first time, the ceremony was televised live to British viewers and was seen by an estimated 500 million viewers in the United States and the British Commonwealth. There you go.
Nice.
On July the 2nd the same year, John, the Ireland cricket team surprised the world of cricket, defeating visiting West Indies team 125 runs to 25 in the first innings of an official one-day match. Just to put that into context for non-cricket people, that's like Vanuatu beating Brazil. There you go. Vanuatu. There you go. I feel like I'm on fucking Pointless here.
That's fucking hell. I thought you were talking about a Star Trek character.
Furthermore, the newest and largest casino resort in Las Vegas, the International Hotel, open to guests. Singer and dog cloner Barbra Streisand performed the first concert date to inaugurate the 1,510-room hotel, which at the time was the tallest building in Nevada, reaching 30 stories high.
Nice.
No mention of any underground shopping malls for old
I know I was going to say that. Pure bad.
It's good that we keep trotting out the same shite on this podcast,
Well,
isn't it?
You've got to get your point across, didn't you?
I wonder if anyone's listened to every episode that's not my wife.
Aye, to see exactly how many times
I do wonder if anyone does.
talk about Barbra Streisand's zap dogs.
Hey, those. That's Barbra Streisand's dog cloning money, I think was the line I used previously. We see footprints on the moon and the landing craft.
Yep, so I looked this up. So I was looking at stuff that's still left on the moon. So every Apollo crew is left behind seismometers, geological tools, and most of their cameras. And their lunar modules, obviously.
All right. Apollo crew or Apollo Creed?
Apollo crew. Creed.
Okay.
He's dead, mate. He's dead.
Mate, still can't bear. I can't just deal with it. I just can't deal with it. Even more so now that Carl Weathers is actually dead.
I know.
We see a huge spacecraft. This shadow of a huge spacecraft fills the screen. And on Earth, at SETI, New Mexico, this tech kid listening to REM.
Yep, I'll let
It's
you
the end
have
of
it.
the world as we know it, and I feel
I've
fine.
literally typed Plenty will have REM Classic from 1987.
You
Done.
better believe it.
The SETI telescope was 25 metres wide, just before I
Oh,
get
look
that
at you, SETI bastard.
SETI slicker.
1987 film album Document, John, is what REM, I Feel Fine, is from. 39 in the UK, 22nd in Ireland, so it is. 16 in It's a Me, Italy. And number 12 in the Zutelors French chart.
Zutala.
Hey, they're not having a good time, are they?
Oh, no,
France
God.
today, as the recording goes, just to date it. Trains aren't working, drones all over the shop. Yeah.
It's a bad sight, it's bad. It's bad.
No, absolutely. The song, this is probably my favourite fact of the episode, very early on. The song was included on the 2001 Clear Channel Memorandum of songs thought to be, quote-unquote, lyrically questionable, to be played on the radio after the September 11 terrorist attack.
Oh, for fuck off, man.
Right? Other songs included New York, New York by Frank Sinatra. Look at your face. Van Halen's Jump. And even more confusingly, Alien Ant Farm's Smooth Criminal cover.
What?
However, not on the list, Michael Jackson's original Smooth Criminal. What?
Oh, crazy.
The fuck is going on
What
with
are they
that?
thinking, man?
Mate, I'm not kidding. This list is like 100 songs long. It's just... And like the vast majority, it makes no sense. Hit me with your best shot, I guess. Pat Benatar, hit
No.
Love is a Battlefield, Pat Benatar. Kind of okay, but what? This alarm goes off, and he calls his boss. And the line is, "If this isn't an insanely beautiful woman, then I'm hanging up."
Of course it is.
Nope, it's not. It's a fat northerner and a Glaswegian. Hello. He plays him a sound that causes him to bump his head and run into the office.
Yep.
He says it's not the Russians. They discover that the source is 375,000 kilometres away.
Yep.
It's on the moon.
But I'm looking at mine. It looks as if the moon is 384,000 miles away.
Oh, maybe from Glasgow.
Aye, true, aye.
It's a bit further away. We love the moon. At the Pentagon, Space Command, Commander Gray, the always brilliant Robert Loggia. I love Robert Loggia.
Yeah.
R as in Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my God, it's Robert Loggia. B as in, my God, by God, that's Robert Loggia. E as in, everybody loves Robert Loggia. R as in, Robert Loggia. T as in, Tim, look over there, it's Robert Loggia. Space. L as in, look, it's Robert. By the way, I love that fucking sketch.
Are you getting a fact for every one of these?
No, we're not getting any facts. I'm getting any Robert Loggia facts. He was a really, really dull man, except for the fact that they gave him the opportunity to pick what part of the forces he was from, and he picked the Marines. There you go.
Well, good on him.
Also, we had this discussion, me and Rachel, about the fact that he's. Have you seen the new one? Have you seen the one from like 10 years ago that they made? The second Independence Day.
Oh, aye.
It's fucking garbage.
Aye.
But I was like, Robert Loggia's in that. She's like, no, he died in like 2014. I was like, he is in it. He's definitely in it. And he died like the same year it came out. I think it might have been a posthumous release.
Jesus.
But then she was like, I think he might have been a cartoon. It might have been like fucking
CGI, like Princess Leia,
like very much so. Yeah, like yeah.
Help me,
anyway,
everyone.
Yeah, we're still unsure on that because the world just doesn't seem to want to tell us, and there's absolutely no fucking way I am pressing play on that Disney Plus fucking icon that says Independence Day 2 or whatever it's called.
Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero. Can't do that again. There's no such thing as Space Command, but there is a Space Force located in the Pentagon.
Space Force? Do you not remember Donald Trump?
Space Force? Yep.
We're going into space. We're going to have a force. We're not going to have those sneaky aliens get us. Mate, I would fucking love one to come down and shoot his other ear off.
Oh, God, aye.
Or just put one between his eyes. You can't say that, though, can you?
Well,
like, we're going to end up disbanding, you're going to end up apologising, and I'm going to end up being Kyle Gassed.
Exactly.
That's unacceptable.
You'll be tenaciously cancelled.
Last week, Kyle quit the band. Now we're back together. La 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 la.
I do it.
It was a misunderstanding. Didn't understand. Fucking great album, that. Anyway, Loggia's doing something in this. I keep calling him Loggia, and then I keep going back to Grey. And then I was like, is he the Grey? Those wolves from that awful Liam Neeson movie.
Aye.
Terrible movie. He's looking at this scan of this huge mass. It's not a meteor because it's slowing down. And he calls the Secretary of Defence. We see the President, Bill Paxton, Pullman, and his wife calls him. He's at home watching the daughter, isn't he?
Yeah.
Tiny little baby Mae Whitman, by the way.
Aye, God, aye.
Who we know as obviously being one of Ramona Flowers' exes.
God.
And then, I don't know did you ever see that Netflix show Good Girls or whatever it's called?
Yep. Yeah.
Where we got to like the last series and for some reason stopped watching and really need to go back to that because it's got a great cast. Yeah, she's brilliant in that. Constance is his press secretary, and the film does not need a woman called Constance.
Yes,
it requires no Constances, this film, at all. She's telling him that he's not very popular. And we see this satellite hit a spaceship. And goodbye, Sky News, I guess, every cloud. And next we're at Central Park, where David's playing his father Julius at chess. Obviously, of course, it's previous episode star.
Oh, Hirsch.
Judd Hirsch has not been in any of our episodes, John.
Is he not?
Jeff Goldblum has, though.
Oh, God, sorry.
When we did The Fly. Some of the worst audio we've ever done, and we've done some shocking audio.
It's been bad.
When we were sat next to one another in your spare room. On a mic that just doesn't... a mic not made for two.
Yes.
It's not a tandem mic. He's complaining David still wears his wedding ring after 3 years of divorce. And then we do checkmate, and his line is, "This is not checkmate." It's quite good. David arrives at the TV station he works at, and it's chaos. There's this guy on the phone, by the way. I fucking love this. He's like, "Yes, I love X-Files too, and I hope you get to see it." X-Files, fucking hell, we could have gone on for weeks with this one. 218 episodes across 11 series, but I only recognise the first 6.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and then it just went boring.
Yeah. I can't help thinking Eugene Toombs wouldn't eat my liver. It's that poisoned.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Yeah, try crawling through a fucking air vent once you've eaten my alcohol-riddled liver, pal.
Slaughter.
Every station has static and snow, right? Which was okay in '96. Noise, commonly known as static or white noise or static noise or snow. In analog video and television is a random dot pixel pattern of static displayed when no transmission signal is obtained by the antenna receiver of television sets and other display devices. Mm-hmm. Which is why my Game Gear TV thing doesn't work anymore.
Oh, the Game Gear? Oh.
Game Gear, I do have a Game Gear, I just don't have enough batteries.
Boo.
Took so many batteries, that thing.
It was heavy on the old lecipacity. Oh, youngest president was Theodore Roosevelt. He was 42.
Oh, very good.
But he was succeeded by the oldest, William McKinney. He was 70. Oh no, Joe Biden's the oldest actually. Joe Biden's 78. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not Jesus Christ. But then when Trump gets in, he's going to be the oldest.
No,
and possibly the fattest. I'm really hoping he doesn't wear a fucking coat and ends up dying a week later. Just anything. Anyway, we get enough fucking hassle about being political on this.
No.
Fuck Nigel Farage. David is more bothered that people in the office won't recycle and all the satellites have stopped responding. Mm-hmm. Next we go to Imperial Valley, California. Troy is watching an analogue broadcast of the film The Day the Earth Stood Still, John.
Yep.
Which is a classic.
Classic.
He fixes it by hitting the TV set.
Have you got anything on it?
I do not, John, no.
What? So The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951. Its famous phrase is Klaatu Barata Nikto, which is also used in Army of Darkness.
That's right, yeah. Very good.
Yeah. Klaatu! Loved it.
Imperial Valley, California, John. The Mexican border runs to the south of the valley, just south of El Centro City. It's where Cher was born. El Centro City.
What?
Do you believe in aliens?
Yep.
The older brother, Miguel, is approached by a farmer with dead crops because their father, Russell, hasn't sprayed the field. Mm-hmm. Miguel goes to meet him as he's flying his kind of biplane, isn't he? And he flies over him, and I was kind of like, hang on a second, is he Cary Grant? Is this a Hitchcock film? No one's told me. But he sprays the wrong field. He's drunk, and of course it's Randy Quaid, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's great casting.
Oh no, it's spot on. Yeah. I couldn't think of anybody who could play him. Anybody else?
If a pilot is discovered to have a blood alcohol count of 0.04 or more, the FAA can have the pilot's license suspended for a year or place criminal charges, even if they haven't taken off in an aircraft.
Bloody hell.
Try telling that to Denzel in Flight.
In Flight, yeah, watched it. Remember that?
Flight. Watch that in theatres.
It saved their lives, though. That was a toughie. Did they cause it?
Rubbish, that film. As for passengers, the maximum sentence for drunkenness on an aircraft is 2 years in prison, a fine of £5,000 or 5 years in prison if the safety of aircraft or passengers has been put at risk. Passengers can also be made to pay the cost of a diversion, which can be up to £80,000.
Fucking hell. I didn't know that.
That's a lot of money.
Last time I'm getting drunk on a plane.
No, it isn't. Shut up.
Second last time I'm getting drunk on a plane.
In space, the ship is spawning smaller ships that head towards the Earth.
Yep, 15 miles wide, which is how... what's her face? I was going to say what's her face, but no. What's his wife, the president's wife, called?
Oh, yeah, she's the first lady I've written. She's not anybody. She's not a character. She's got so few lines.
Mary McDonnell. So apparently she was enticed into doing the film because the pitch was there are going to be spaceships 15 miles wide in it. Like,
oh, right. What? Okay, fair enough. I mean, she could come and see a podcaster 15 miles wide if she comes to the live show. I'll be there.
Is that you plugging the show?
It's exactly what I'm doing. 17th of August, Richard Rose Academy in Carlisle. We'll be talking Shrek. Constance explains the official position is that they have no position, which I kind of liked. The president, Robert Loggia, and the Secretary of State, right? I haven't written this guy's name. He's called like Mr. Elathabal or something. And he's just one of those weedy guys that's a kind of like a creepy, weedy baddie in everything, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in everything. He's there or thereabouts, isn't he?
Yeah. They're discussing options. The object has broken off into a dozen other objects heading into orbit. The first one hits northern Iraq. John, Saddam Hussein was still alive when this came out, and indeed still in power. Next up is the Californian coastline, then the Kremlin, and the White House, which is watching it all happen. A plane is flying through zero visibility off the California coast. It's basically the fog on the Tyne for Gadget, this. Until suddenly it isn't. Until suddenly it's just some fire.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense at all. It's like, I can't see anything. Oh, it's clearing.
Fire.
How is it fire? But, of course, it blows up the plane. The president refuses to leave. He doesn't want to add to a public hysteria that will cost lives. Whereas Trump tells people to break the law because he can't believe the will of the people. Robert Loggia stays with him. Back in the TV station, David has a lock on the signal. It's reducing itself every minute and will eventually vanish in 6 hours. On the TV, Constance is announcing that there is a UFO. The station are heading down to this old bomb shelter in the basement.
Yeah.
Podcast favourite, John, Harvey Fierstein.
Oh, is that the one?
From Match Me, can make me a match in Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's that.
Make me a woman. Oh, I'm so happy.
And Simpsons is
yes, he is Carl in The Simpsons. Yeah. Oh, I have to call my mother. Of course you do. Of course you do. Back in the diner in California, Russell's getting hassle from the locals. Turns out he claims to have been kidnapped by aliens, and they never let him forgive it. He gets up to leave, and the whole diner starts to shudder as another ship arrives in the valley. They also turn up in Hollywood. Then, of course, LA, where Jasmine, Stephen Hiller, and their child, Dylan, are sleeping. At New York, where the Twin Towers are still there, John.
Yeah, it's in there.
Good to see the Twin Towers. You know, and again, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before. Every time I see the Twin Towers in a film that we do, I look like Leonardo DiCaprio on that bit where he's pointing at the TV. That's what I do when I see the Twin Towers. Or Rachel will nudge me and roll her eyes. Yes, the fucking Twin Towers. Yeah. It being New York City, it basically causes a car crash, and then some homeless people see it because it's New York City. Mm-hmm. Not sure who was the biggest threat, John, to the homeless people of New York City. Was it the aliens? Or was it Rudy Giuliani? I'm cleaning up the city. I'm cleaning it up from aliens, John.
Yeah, I'm going to say Giuliani.
What a fuck. He's another one, isn't he? The president wants to address the nation. Hiller gets up and heads outside for the paper and sees the whole street packing to leave town. And that's when he looks up and sees the ship. His eyes are basically painted on.
Oh, God, aye.
At the station, Marty's on the phone to his ma. Get your stuff together and head to Ann Esther's. And David says, he says, David, can you explain why I've sent my mother to Atlanta? It's quite good. In approximately 6 hours, the signal disappears and the countdown is over. Well, what then? Checkmate. I gotta call my brother. I better call my housekeeper. I gotta call my lawyer. Forget my lawyer. I wrote, it's perfect. It's the perfect line. Except that's not the line that was written. And that's not the line that's delivered. It's ADR, John.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you watch it very, very carefully, and because I've watched this film 3 times now, I have watched it. It was originally "fuck my lawyer."
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they ADR'd it because it would have made the film an R and not a PG-13.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, and "forget my lawyer's good." It's there's good. There's some really, really cute yet like sticky language in this.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
Later on, the constant use of checkmate, and later on the oops bit. Mm-hmm. I really like the oops bit.
Yeah. Oops.
What do you mean oops? What oops? But it's badly written, but it doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters how badly written it is.
I care more about this film than I did about the next one. Like, I can't even remember the next one, but I can remember a lot of stuff for this.
It's the day after tomorrow.
No,
the Independence Day.
The next Independence Day.
They've got super spaceships.
Yeah, and
because they use the technology.
They've got a space force.
He's Mam's a nurse, not a stripper, but it's the same actor? Question mark.
Yeah, it's just.
I think it's still Vivica A. Fox. Anyway, it's got one of the Thor brothers in it.
Yes, one of the Hemsworth.
Hemsworth brother. The president's talking to Constance and gets a call. She gets a call from David. He's her ex-husband and he wants her to leave. It's a hidden signal. She calls him paranoid and hangs up. David tells Marty to get out of town. Just as the president does, please leave in an orderly fashion. Smash cut to people going fucking
Everybody
nuts in the street.
Aye. You know that's what it'd be like, man.
Of course it would. Stephen Hill has been called into the base. Will Smith. He's a pilot. They row, but he eventually tells her to join them at the base with Dylan. In NYC, David says to his dad, have you still got the Plymouth? I was like, yeah, absolutely. We need to grab it. The Plymouth Car John, a 1962 Plymouth Savoy, as featured on Tree of Life and First Man.
There you go.
David doesn't drive, he's only got a bike, and he rides around with this fucking bike ringing this bell.
I know.
Fucking so annoying how he rings this bell constantly. The bicycle bell was invented, by John Richard Dedicoat, and patents for the bicycle bell appears as early as 1877. In the United Kingdom, bells on new bikes were compulsory until 1983, and again since May 2011. Bicycle bells have also been used as a musical instrument in such notable recordings as You Still Believe in Me on Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys and Bicycle Race by Queen.
Bicycle. Oh, just so you know, the Motorola StarTAC was the phone of that year. That flip phone. Did you ever have one?
I had a later one. I had one in 99, maybe.
Right. Did you have the smaller one, the wee V-dot one, the wee tiny one? I had
no, that tiny one. I knew someone that had one. I wouldn't be able to use that at all.
I had that.
With my hands. Did you? Fucking hell. The problem with that was the little ribbon used to corrode, between the two parts, between the bottom and the top. Anyway. Who could care about phone chat?
Motorola StarTAC. Oh God.
I think I got something like 10 minutes and 10 texts a month on my deal.
Wow.
Or Orange 10 or Orange 15 I was on. Yeah, fuck that. The president's talking to the first lady. She's doing something and she's got a chopper waiting for her. She's elsewhere. Later on the road to DC, Julius is driving them. There's only a few people driving into the city while getting out of it is a car park. Why rush? Do you think we'll get to Washington and it won't be there? And David doesn't say anything.
It's a good line.
It is. Yeah. It's clunky, but I like it. Russell's boys are watching the TV, and we see Russell's been arrested for dropping flyers about the aliens onto City Hall. They go and grab the sister, who's in a truck with this sleazy kid. Fuck me. It could be our last day on Earth. I don't want to die a virgin. Like, mate, you're dying a fucking virgin, even if these aliens don't attack. It's so cheesy. The only thing that was missing was like, "Kiss Me" by Sixpence None the Richer.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's make-out music.
Yeah. Oh, baby, now my pants are chafing me. The boys come and save her from ending up another teen mom statistic. Russell arrives, they let him out, and he's joining them. At the base, the TV has the brilliant line, "Once again, government officials are urging Los Angelinos not to fire their guns in the air. You may inadvertently trigger an interstellar war."
Oh, that's funny.
10 out of 10 for judging Americans exactly how we do on this. Hiller arrives at the base and talks with famous non-actor John, Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah, they'll singer, didn't he? The swinger singer.
That threw me. Did you see who it should have been?
No.
Matthew Perry.
No way.
Matthew Perry. Yeah.
I feel about that.
Could I be any less of a pilot? I mean, Harry Connick Jr.'s crap casting. Harry Connick Jr.'s big song, John, was It Had to Be You. Couldn't find any release details on it, but of course it's a 1924 song by Gus Kahn, no, not Guz Kahn, and Isham Jones. It's been covered so many fucking times, but most memorably, by Julie Wilson in Casablanca, which is still one of my best experiences on this podcast, having Diana Goodman on and being able to just learn so much about fucking film.
You loved it, didn't you? You lapped up.
I did. I absolutely did. It's really, really weird. If they ever say to you, never meet your heroes, do. Just make sure they're not...
Twats.
Make sure they're all right. I don't know how you do that. It's not us. When you meet us, you'll see. Hiller's got this letter from NASA, and he gets HK Jr., as no one's calling him, to read it to him. It's a rejection letter. He's explaining that you have to kiss booty, and he kneels down making this kissy face on Hiller until he drops a ring in this box. Mate, did you clock this ring?
It was fucking horrendous.
It's fucking disgusting. Dolphin ring.
What the fuck?
I thought it was the Miami football winners ring from Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, that's what I thought. 1988.
As Harry Connick Jr. picks it up and looks at it, there's this brilliant bit of a gag where this other pilot walks around the corner and just clocks them and then walks away, which is kind of all right. Don't ask, don't tell, John, was the official United States policy on military service of non-heterosexual people. Instituted during the Clinton administration, the policy was issued under the Department of Defense Directive 1304.26 on December 21st, 1993. It was in effect February 28th, 1994 until September the 20th, 2011. The policy prohibited military personnel from discriminating against or harassing closeted homosexual or bisexual service members or applicants. But it also barred openly gay, lesbian or bisexual persons from military service. It was mandated by public law, which was signed in November the 30th, 1993. And I didn't know too much about it other than a Simpsons reference. Until I read about it. I knew it was a thing. But yeah, there you go. Harry Connick Jr. says, you'll never get to ride the space shuttle if you marry a stripper. And Rachel went, ooh, that's not very nice. And then we see Jasmine doing her day job. And I, for one, listeners, say, fuck the space shuttle. That's what I want to ride.
Exactly. I'm like, what?
Am I right, boys and girls? Absolutely. The club is empty, and her stripper pal, Tiffany, with an I, is going to the rooftop to welcome the aliens. She's even got a sign. She's in loads of
shit as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she is in tons of stuff. Hey, it's that gal, is what she is.
Always a bit of, if I remember right, she always plays a bit of schizo, didn't she? She's always played something slightly unhinged.
Yes, very much so. David has the phone book on this mini CD that he puts in his laptop. Constance has her cell listed for emergencies. Emergencies such as an alien invasion?
Alien? Yeah, I was thinking that.
That counts.
Jesus.
David calls from outside the White House, but she's using her phone, which is great because it means he can track her, because he's not only a genius, but he's a stalker.
Motorola StarTAC, baby.
He gets her to go over by the window and he waves at her from the gates. The Air Force have fitted a helicopter with this light show to communicate and called it the Welcome Wagon. That's exactly what it is. Inside the White House, Julius is upset he's not wearing a tie. Look at me, I look like a Schlemiel.
Did you get your
You know what it means, John. You know what it means.
Yeah. You got it, didn't you? You worked
It's
it.
been such a long time, but I managed to get
You
the Yiddish
dashed it off?
dictionary out. I did. Schlemiel means a stupid, awkward, or unlucky person.
So eat your greens with every schmeal.
In the Oval Office, David admits he punched the president last time they met because he was jealous. When the president arrived, David tells him about the satellite disruption. He explains using pictures of line of sight. He explains that they're using the satellites.
Yeah.
They've turned the satellites against us.
Oh no, not again.
They've turned the satellites against us, John. Welcome Wagon doesn't do so well. They get fucking fried, by the way.
Fried, I know.
That'll
Something's
teach you
happening.
Fucking flash some lights. Yeah. Oh,
I know.
There's an opening. Something's happening.
I know.
The president evacuates the White House in a helicopter with all the other A-list actors from this film.
Oh yes, yeah. All the Drosses and the other ones.
Jasmine the kid and Boomer the dog are stuck in traffic.
Boomer! Aye.
Tiffany with an eye is on the roof with all the other nutters welcoming them in.
Aye. Where's Elvis? That's what...
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe I'm gonna ask them if they'll bring Elvis back. In all the cities, the ship's bottoms open up, and it's just a massive blue light. The president makes it to Air Force One just as the countdown ends. Now, this is where we get a selection of models being blown up, which I am 100% here for.
Yes. So, what in fact is this is the most miniatures ever in any film.
Oh,
and
right.
And it's never. They think it's never going to be surpassed because obviously CGI now.
Yeah.
Quite
right.
right.
Be a big alien. Fuck off down the model village. The models being blown up is brilliant, and then there's some CGI fire, which is not brilliant.
Yeah, it's not good.
And it wouldn't be a Roland Emmerich film without some cars just being dropped from the sky on other cars, which I was also there for. The White House gets it. The Washington Monument and Air Force One only just avoid becoming fucking air fryed.
Yeah, he's just done it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I looked at shockwaves.
Go for it, yeah.
So the shockwaves travel faster than the speed of sound. So that's 343 metres per second. So if you're 1 kilometre away from the epicentre, it'll be at you in less than 3 seconds. That's pretty
Consider me shocked, Wave.
Shut up. My favourite Transformer, you know.
In LA, Jasmine grabs the kid and runs for this tunnel, where she makes it into the service hatch, calling for Boomer to come too. And the dog jumps through the door just as the fire passes them by. So, that dog's not dead, John. Although, 1996, determined or not, that Labrador is long dead.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yes. The screen says July the 3rd. July the 3rd, John. Whoa, you've got some good stuff here. In reality, the Soviet Union's race to land a man on the moon, already far behind the American program, ended with the explosion after launch of its N-1 rocket, the Soviet counterpart to the American Saturn V. A press release from the University of California, Los Angeles, announced the existence of what would become the Internet. And Brian Jones, 27, the English guitarist of the Rolling Stones, was found dead in his swimming pool at Hartfield, East Sussex.
Oof.
All of those things happened the day that we landed on the moon. Birthdays, though, not necessarily on this day. Hard candy paedophile Patrick Wilson. The always brilliant Benedict Wong and bad lad Julian Assange, both born 1971.
Cool.
Cool. We get this shot of the Statue of Liberty, right? And she's not looking too good, face down in the Hudson. How are the Ghostbusters supposed to take on Vigo the Carpathian now?
Yeah. They're going to slime it when it's been pre-slimed.
This gigantic woman will devour us all no more. Anyway, the biggest takeaway from this shot, John, for me was the Twin Towers were quite damaged, but were still standing.
Aye.
So here's where I'm putting my neck on the line, listeners, and saying that Al-Qaeda can finish a job better than aliens. There you go. On Air Force One, the president is upset that they didn't evacuate sooner. He said as a fighter pilot he knew what to do, but here, not so much so. Loggia says the First Lady's chopper never made it. They lost radio contact. Jasmine's working through the rubble of the Sylvester Stallone film Daylight, ?
Yeah. God, fucking
when
hell.
she gets out the tunnel, it's like Bartertown in Mad Max, isn't it?
Pretty much.
The Black Knights are the group of fucking flyboys.
The flyboys,
he's part of, isn't it? Yeah.
Aye.
He says, something wrong, Captain Hiller? He says, I'm just a little anxious to get up there and whoop E.T.'s ass is all. I'll whoop fucking E.T.'s ass as well. Now, as you all know, listeners, I fucking hate Top Gun, so this is the shittest part of the film for me. They're flying out. Harry Connick Jr. does this really ill-judged Reverend Al Sharpton impression.
Aye.
I mean, it's racist, and I certainly don't think they should be taking the piss out of a brother. Do you know what I mean? As they approach the ship and fire, they only hit a force field. They get a little too close and all manage to pull up, except for, of course, Porkins.
Ted Stryker. Oh, no,
Paul
Ted Stryker. That's wrong film, isn't it?
Ted Stryker.
Stryker.
Poor Porkins. Red Leader standing by. They basically all get mullered, including racist Goose, Poor racist goose.
I know.
Takes it, doesn't he? The base
I can't
gets
breathe. Oh, just fly. Like, why are you taking your mask off? Don't take your mask off.
The base gets obliterated by these wee shuttle ships. And of course, Hiller is brilliant. He manages to take one down fighting the planes, but with using the plane's emergency parachute. And as he ejects out of the plane and lands in the desert next to the downed fighter, he's like, "That's right, that's what you get. Look at your ship all banged up. Wait till I get another plane. I'll take you all down." This is good. He pulls open the ship door and the alien comes at him, all tentacles, and he just punches fuck out of it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth. Now that's what I call a close encounter. He has got all the best and worst lines in this film.
He really does, aye.
Back with Jasmine, she finds a fire truck with the keys in the cab. Firefighters tell us, do you leave the keys in the truck? Do you allow naughty Norman Price the opportunity to steal the truck and torment the people of Pontypandy?
Do you? That was
an
international
should have had an
harvest.
Aspo long ago. Go on, mate.
What one? No, it's the truck was an International Harvester Loadster.
Oh, was it? Okay.
There's the time of the year though. I do know there was a 1965 Ford Mustang in there somewhere. I think it's the red car he was driving at the beginning.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, good spot. Fantastic. On Air Force One, David is getting airsick. But actually airsick. Not like that lying bastard Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm airsick. I'm airsick. I'm going to kill a dog. Constance thanks Julius for their help. He tells her that there's still love between them. All you need is love. John Lennon, smart man. Shot in the back, very sad. Which, I mean, yes, absolutely
straight to the
very
point.
sad.
Yeah,
but,
straight to the point.
Yeah. All You Need Is Love by the Beatles, 1967 single off of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which is not my favourite Beatles album. If I was pushed, I'd have to say the best of the Beatles. Number one almost everywhere. Strayer, Canada A, Oil and So It Was. Where, John?
The Netherlands.
Very good. New Zealand present. The Jan Agerfjortoft Norwegian chart. Swedish top lister.
What?
Here. I just keep naming that Norwegian one after footballers. It's just how it works. USA, and West Germany. The only thing missing off of that was the Stupid Sexy Flanders, where it was fourth. Very disappointing.
What?
Fourth. I assume it was
Sexy Flanders.
Yeah, I assume it was behind a
Smurf
song or something.
Aye.
The Secretary of Defence, bastard, suggests they take out a launch of a nuke on American soil. David explains this is a terrible idea and would be the end of life itself. It starts a big argument. The Defence Secretary orders him thrown off the plane. But Julius turns up and gives the big, if it wasn't for my David, you'd never have known.
Aye.
Yeah, what about what you did in the 50s with Area 51? The President says Area 51 wasn't real. Except now is the time for them to tell him the truth.
Yeah, Mr. President.
It was real, yeah. I really liked this. He says, he said, well, why did you never tell me? He says, plausible deniability, which is basically a thing of you cannot give a fact away if you do not know.
If you do not know, Yep. So it's a Nirvana test training range. It was built in 1955.
Oh, right.
1955.
Okay.
Back in the day, big man. It's highly classified, so I couldn't find anything else more about it. Highly classified.
It's a great excuse. On the truck, there's a bunch of really very middle-aged white people now being driven through the
she picks up all the whiteys, didn't she? Picks up all the cornbread.
She? Yeah. Boomer finds the First Lady in this wreckage of the chopper with a piece of metal just lay softly on her lap. And it's like, she's in a bad way. Like, they move this piece of really thin aluminium off of her lap.
It's non-existent, aye.
It's so shit. She's in a bad way. She looks pretty fucking comfortable to me. I've got to be honest.
She's doing alright.
Yeah. In the Salt Flats, Hiller's dragging this alien in his parachute when this huge pile of RVs turn up, including Russell and the kids. Now, I didn't get the chance to have a look, but I'm going to assume just because I like to assume. I'm not going to write it down as a fact, but I just want to believe. I want to believe that this is the same RV that cousin Eddie drives in NASA.
And Vicky,
it's obviously not. It's much
defo.
bigger. I choose to believe that. The Salt Flats, John. Salt Flats. The Utah Salt Flats. Utah Salt Flats. Or the Bonneville Salt Flats. Geologist Grove Carl Gilbert named the area after Benjamin Bonneville, a US Army officer who explored the Intermountain West in the 1830s. The flats are 12 miles long and 5 miles wide, and it's estimated to hold 147 tons of salt, approximately 90% of which is common table salt.
What? Apparently it stinks as well.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Yeah. It's also
well, that's how he said it. Apparently he didn't know it stinks so much. That's how he says in which that smell, because apparently it was.
Oh, is it
really?
Stinking. Oh, right. Very good. Yeah. It's also not nearby to Nevada at all. It's a 14-hour drive across 3 states.
Why?
Why, John?
What if I used that for my travel? I'd have been fucked.
You would have been fucked if you're like that. Right, okay. It's all right, lads. I'll be with you for storming Area 51. I'll just be about 2 hours away. No, I won't. You'd be like a day late. Hiller says he saw a base from the air, and they say, it's not on the map. He says, well, I definitely saw it. At Roswell, Air Force One lands, and they're shown to this research facility. It's a clean room, sir, sorry. And he's like, just fucking open the door, I'm the president. And this is the why wasn't I told about this place? 2 words, sir, plausible deniability. The scientists are all dressed like the crime scene from the start of Hot Fuzz, aren't they? Hello!
Yeah, hello!
We meet Dr. Ocken. Who was it?
Data.
It's Data.
For next gen.
Next gen. Basically, he's a hippie nerd, isn't he? It's a fun role for him. He says, I guess you'd like to see the big tamale, huh? Like, he thinks this is really fun. And the president's like, people have died. And he's like, yeah, but it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
He takes them to the alien fighter crafts, and he says it started coming back to life since they arrived on Earth. He takes them to see 3 corpses in jars. He says they have eyes, ears, but no vocal cords.
Yeah, the freak show.
Yeah, that's what he calls it. Yeah. The bodies are as frail as ours, but it's the tech that's advanced.
Yes.
The president tells David to work with them. Let's see if David's as smart as they hope he is.
Yeah, so it's an exoskeleton in it, and inside
it is,
it. So apparently they designed 2 aliens, and Roland Emmerich loved both of them, so they decided to put one inside the other.
All right, nice.
That's why there's 2. You see,
like an alien to Durkin.
like an alien Kinder Surprise. Surprise! I'm taking over the world.
Surprise! I'm talking through your vocal cords.
Yeah. Surprise! Checkmate.
Yes. Surprise! Oops! What oops? At the gates, the truck and Hiller all arrive. I can't let you pass without clearance. Here's my clearance. He rips off this second parachute.
And there's like getting there, but they all go in. Like it's like
yeah, he just lets everybody in.
Everybody.
Robert Loggia's giving shit to the Secretary of Defence when the President comes in. The armed forces are down to 15%, and worldwide destruction of every major city is due in 36 hours. Hiller's bought in. They tell Bill that the alien is downstairs. General Gray tells Hiller El Toro base has been destroyed, and obviously he's very upset by this. Moas El Toro was a real base, John, but it was decommissioned in 1999. I assume because it would cost too much to rebuild after this attack.
I thought they were partying like it was decommission time.
Decommissioned, yeah. It's just outside of Irvine, John.
What?
California, not Ayrshire.
Oh.
I assume Irvine, California is as much of a shithole as Irvine, Scotland. And while it was active, all US presidents in post-World War II era landed in Air Force One at this particular airfield. There you go. At what's left of El Toro, Fireman Jazz and her band of shit white people have arrived and they see the disaster. One of them saying, today's the first time he used the subway. Rich old prick. The First Lady and Jazz are talking. What do you do for a living? I'm a dancer. Ballet? No exotic. I voted for the other guy. Fucking great. Up yours, dying lady. It is a fun line, but here's what I found from my investigation. Clinton won in 1992, which means that as the Democratic president in 92, Jasmine voted for George Herbert Walker Bush. No way. There's absolutely no way she voted for
happening. Nah.
So, she must have voted for the third party, my boy Ross Perot. Ross Perot's son, Ross Perot Jr., was the first person to circumnavigate the Earth by helicopter at the age of 23.
RPG? No way.
The facts are facts. They're just not necessarily related to this film. At Area 51, we're opening up the alien suit, gently with a scalpel. There's a jump scare as it opens and we see the face. It doesn't look alive, does it? And of course, the alien is fucking alive.
It's moving a bit, yeah.
It murders the scientist with its tentacles. And running. It does some running, which murders people as well. Which is weird. Doesn't have to do a lot of running around.
Just whipping about.
Yeah. President and his goons turn up to talk with Ocken. The room's filled with gas, and he's thrown against the glass. Release me, isn't he? But we see it's the alien playing his vocal cords like a fucking flute or something.
Like a fiddle. Playing it like a fiddle.
The president says we have much to learn from one another. Can there be a peace between us? No peace. What is it you want us to do? Die. And then he does this brain noise on the president. And the brilliant line from Robert Loggia is that glass bulletproof? No, sir. And the Secret Service just fucking blow it away, right?
Yeah.
It gets blammoed like they're using a Magnum, doesn't it?
Oh, God, it's just one shot as well, isn't it?
Fucking backflip.
Yeah.
And then they run over and put a bullet in its head. The president says, I saw what they plan to do. They're like locusts. Nuke 'em all.
Duke Nukem.
Constance approaches a drunk David. You heard then. He says, I'm toasting the end of the world. There's this bit about the relationship. They never stop loving one another, but that wasn't enough. Blah, 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 blah. Hiller's mourning the loss of Jasmine. And I want to say Dwight. What was the kid called? Was he called?
Whoa, that wasn't his problem. That was maybe that win was a save game. That was somebody else's problem.
Hiller gets to the chopper, doesn't he? This massive fuck-off roided out guard pulls a gun on him. He says, do you really want to shoot me? He says, no. Just tell him I hit you. And the look on the face of this guy is perfect. Who's believing that? The president orders the strike. First of all, it's Houston, Texas. The fighter sets off, and we lose visual when it hits. When we get visual back, the whole room pats itself on the back, and then the smoke clears, and the ship is still there. But Houston, Texas is a fucking wreck. He calls the planes back, but the Secretary of Defense just likes blowing stuff up. He's like, let's just keep blowing stuff up. Let's just keep doing it. One of them will work.
Just one more. Just one more.
Back at El Toro, here's Hiller with the chopper. You're late. I know I like to make an entrance. Back at the base, we learn the First Lady's bleeding internally and there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, she was fine all the time until she got to that bloody base.
She was absolutely fine, yeah. The child gets a moment for a hug and she has a full-on conversation and when he tells the wife she's going to be just fine, she makes a joke about it. And then within seconds, she is dead.
Dead. Which is not how human beings work. I felt bad for the daughter because she only got like a wee snippet. It was like you outside.
Yeah, go on outside. Is mommy sleeping? Yeah, mommy's sleeping, and they hug, and we get the title card July the 4th.
Sleeping with the fishes, more like sleeping with the fishes.
July the 4th, of course, is Independence Day. He's been John, Father Independence. What did you get in your stocking? Diabetes from massive drinks? Or a mass shooting for every day of the year? Happy Independence Day, John, and all of our listeners. What else happened this day in history? 1892, Western Samoa changes the international dateline, causing Monday, July the 4th, to occur twice, resulting in a leap year with 367 days.
Fucking hell.
I mean, just fucking behave, Western Samoa.
Can do me here.
Who's at the fucking wheel of Western
Who's
Samoa?
driving this thing?
1901, William Howard Taft becomes the first US governor of the Philippines. Oh, Taft, you old dog.
Nah, you devil.
And 1969, Michael Maghew, 19, becomes the first person to survive a murder attempt by a man who would become known as the Zodiac Killer.
Ah, right, okay.
Birthdays of Bill Withers, Queen Sonja of Norway, and Post Malone.
Post Malone.
Queen Sonja of Norway, I think, is that another Arnold Schwarzenegger sword and sandals film?
Is it?
Julius goes into the alien ship where a drunken David is wrecking the place. If we screw the planet up enough, they won't want it anymore. Julius says he lost faith too. I haven't spoken to God since your mother died. Now get off the freezing concrete floor before you catch cold. This is a bit farty, isn't it? David's inspired. He calls the whole base to join them. Puts a can of Coke on the spaceship and asks the general to shoot it off. He does this and causes the shield to stop the bullet. He then removes the shield and tells the general to shoot. He does it and it works. How did you do that? I gave it a cold, a virus. They need to give the mothership a virus which will cause the smaller ships to drop their shields. The plan is to fly the ship into the mothership. Loggia believes it's possible. The Secretary of Defence is not having any of it. Hiller offers to fly the ship and we get a shot of it at least hovering, so that's something. The President takes down the Secretary of Defence when he tells him he's making a mistake. He has him up against the wall, which I quite liked, and fires him, and then tells Robert Loggia to get as many planes and pilots as possible. We move on to Gadget's favourite bit now, the Brits in the desert in the Middle East. We know we've lost a group in the Belgian Sinai. This bloke speaks Arabic. What the hell is he saying? It's Old Morse code. It's from the Americans. They want to have a counter-offensive. About bloody time.
What ho?
We also see some Russians in a lighthouse, ? And some Japanese lad just stood in front of a wall. It goes from a full desert set to this little tiny lighthouse room to just some lad in front of a fucking it's a Happy Days set, doesn't it? It's in the bathroom. Back at the base, we learn Russell's volunteered. He flew in Nam and did crop dusting ever since. He tells the commander he's doing this for payback for being probed. Gray tells David and Hiller they have 30 seconds after they shoot the nuke in the mothership to get out. Jasmine and David are getting married before he ships out for some reason, and their witnesses are David and Constance. The President's concerned the pilots are young and nervous, so he gets up and he does his speech. Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world, and you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind. That word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist, and should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but the day the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today we celebrate our Independence Day.
Yeah, it's kind of is an American holiday, and we always call it Independence Day, so what the fuck?
Of course you do. The President tells Gray he's a combat pilot and he belongs in the air, so they get him a plane. David's given air sickness bags by Julius just in case, and he gives him in return a Tora and a yarmulke, just in case. Will takes cigars off Julius for when the fat lady sings. The pilots all get set. Russ accidentally hits launch missile, and it's like, missile launch. He's like, oops, I picked a hell of a day to quit drinking. Again, it's a nice throwback to Airplane, isn't it? Hiller reverses the ship into a wall and does the oops. What with the oops? Shall we try that again? Yes, but without the oops. And this is the I gotta get me one of these as they fly out. I mean, he has one of them. That is his, surely.
Exactly. Nobody else is going to fly it.
In space, the ship gets tractor beamed and they head into the ship. This last 20 minutes, so much action happens, but I've probably got like 5 lines.
But it's so quick though. There's a lot of long sequences. So,
and it looks good. It still looks good.
Mm-hmm.
They're inside the mothership. It's blue, smoky, and metal, and that's it. We see there's millions of aliens, and Hiller says because it's an invasion. The ship comes to a rest at this section with an alien in a window. It's the busiest alien I've ever seen. It's like he's working on the fucking desk at Men in Black, isn't it?
And exactly, I want to be stuck.
Luckily for them, the ship has shutters on the windows so that they can pull them up and not be seen. Great bit of kit.
Yep.
They dock and the virus uploads. On Earth, the planes are scrambled to shoot at the ships. One does, and the shield remains in place. Loggia tells them to disengage, but the president takes another shot and it hits. They all start releasing missiles, which of course causes loads of alien fighters to come out after them. On the mothership, Hiller can't get the ship away from the dock. It's stuck. The alien taps the computer and takes control. Back at the base, everyone's running for their lives as the ships blast them. Julius has a group of people praying in Hebrew. The Secretary of Defence arrives and joins them. But I'm not Jewish. Nobody's perfect.
That's a good line.
Great line.
That's a good line.
The planes are running out of missiles and they're not causing enough damage. There's this bit where someone says Alpha Niner, and I was like, did I just catch a Niner in there? Are you calling from a walkie-talkie? Previous episode, Tommy Boy, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Niner. The ship moves over the base and opens its flange, ready to blow them up. The president goes to shoot the hole, but instead hits the flaps at the sides.
It's the flaps, I know. Fucking always the way, and it is always the way.
Everyone is out of missiles except for Russell. He's got one left. It's me, Russell Case, sir. I told you I wouldn't let you down. They lay down cover for him and he lets rip. Except there's a malfunction and the missile is jammed.
Of course it is.
But Russell looks at a picture of his children. Do me a favour. Tell my children I love them very much. All right, you alien assholes. Up yours. And as the ship aims, he flies into the dangly bit. Hello, boys. I'm back. And that look of him with the blue tint, I think about all the time. He's so good. And he's the hero of the movie. It blows the whole thing up. The base celebrates. In spite of the fact they would have been squished.
Yeah.
I'm not pretending to know
well.
how physics works, but that thing would have just gone
15 miles wide.
15 miles wide. It would have got a bit of them, but no. Apparently, it just lands on some mountains at the side. How fortunate!
Backed off.
Robert Loggia tells the comms team to Morse code everyone and tell them how it's done. Back in the ship, the boys are commiserating. They light the cigars and shoot the nuke into the control centre, which releases the ship and the nuke gets lodged in a wall. They fly out, being chased by other little ships as the countdown ticks. They fly out this closing bay door as other ships just fly into it, and the mothership just fucking explodes.
What did Jeff Goldblum say at that point?
I can't remember.
Go faster, must go faster.
He does, yeah, must go faster, yeah.
Exact same line in Jurassic Park.
Of course it is, from Jurassic Park, yeah.
Yeah. And
when they've been chased by the T-Rex, very good.
Yeah.
Clever girl.
Cheers.
On the ground, people have taken the ships down in South America, next to the pyramids, and right on top of the Sydney Opera House. Crikey!
Yeah.
Hiller and David make it to Earth and are met by their respective partners and the president, but no Boomer. Boomer wasn't allowed out. We see the ships crash into Earth, and he says, "Didn't I promise you fireworks?" And that's the movie.
Done.
Also, the longest credit sequence of anything I can remember.
Yeah.
Because I sat there still writing notes, and the credits run for another 15 minutes.
I fast forwarded it to see if there was any bloopers. Because that's kind of guy I am.
To see if Dom DeLuise corpsed at any point. Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh, I think we've got plenty of facts there. I'm sure we've got more. But John, what other facts have we got for us?
So Central Park. So it shows you again Central Park. So Central Park is 2.5 miles long. So it pretty much dwarfed it. Remember when it came over?
Yeah.
Head. The American Aerospace Defence Command NORAD's motto is "We have the watch." That's the motto. Yeah, it's no SAS, but I don't need to do. The USA's newest jet is the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II. Yeah. Ain't Over to the Fat Lady Sings was coined in 1978 by Dan Cook, a sports writer from San Antonio, Texas, after his town's basketball team won and went on to win the Championship Series. And of the 45 individuals who've served as presidents in the United States, 35 had prior military service. So 40 of them were in the army or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Good stuff. Excellent stuff. And the next one is a fucking draft dodger. There you go. I've really given it to Trump this week, aren't we? Really are. The film was banned in Lebanon because it showed Iraqi and Israeli air forces working together. They didn't like that. And only 18 years between Judd Hirsch and Jeff Goldblum, so they aged him up. Which, strangely enough, he now looks like that in that later movie. The 20 years movie, he looks like that. Yeah.
Jesus.
That's everything I've got. While I top them up, John, do you want to have a guess?
Ooh. So, we'll try to get 100 for Gadget, so I'm just going to put my neck on the line and say 75.
Fucking hell. It's higher than 75.
100.
It's higher than 100, John.
110?
Oh, it's 105. 105. Oh. There you go, Gadget.
At least we got 100.
Yeah, we knew you couldn't be here, so we tried extra hard, which just goes to show if we ever do something for somebody and we don't get 100, makes us seem like a right bunch of bastards. But it's just how it is. It's just how it is. That is the show. Again, listeners, if you like what we do, you can give us a quid. We'll put you on the wheel. That is go to patreon.com/100 things film or 100 things we learned from film.co.uk for all of our links, including in the show notes a link to where you can buy a ticket for the show, which is it's a mere matter of weeks away. It's this month coming. It's this coming month on the 17th of August at Richard Rose Academy in Carlisle. Please join us there. John, anything to say to the listeners before we go?
So again, I'm really looking forward to this. I think we're going to do well. But no, so exciting. So on the 17th, if you can make it down to Carlisle, feel free to, well, I say feel free, but you need to pay to join.
It's going to be a fiver. It'll be a fiver to you. Get your tickets ahead, by the way, because they did sell out last year. We weren't there, of course, because we were in Benidorm on a stag do getting food poisoning.
I forgot about that.
Fucking both of us got food poisoning at some point in that holiday. Right, okay, yeah. So thanks very much, listeners. We will be back next week with... Oh, we'll be back next week with what, John?
We'll be raising hell with Hellraiser.
We will be raising hell with Hellraiser.
What's in the bags? What's in the bags?
The shittiest sexy film that you've ever seen. It's like fucking Red Shoe Diaries. But the red is blood, of course. But fuck, I love Hellraiser so much. It's so bad.
Second one's better, but it's so good.
Mate, the third... I'm going to have to watch some more. The third one. With the guy with the CDs in his fucking face. Oh, man. Boombox or whatever he's called. I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back next week with that. So he's been John, I've been Planty, and this has been 105 things we have learnt for our patron Gadget on Independence Day. See ya.
See you guys.